Kakadosh. Tonight, this is the Hilula of Elimelech Milezinsk, and we are going to have Refuah Shelema, only sponsored by the Saban family, Refuah Shelema, Rabbi Moshe ben Miriam Lydia, and Ilam Mordechai ben Alana. Shelem Refuah Shelema, Refuah Tenefesh V'Guf, V'Machzev V'Shasagdehem, and for the Atzlacha of Eli Binyamin ben Devorah. So he asked me, Mordechai asked me to speak a little bit about the Noam Elimelech, so we're going to speak a few minutes. The Noam Elimelech, Milezinsk, his name was Weissblum. He actually lived from 1717 to 1787. So we're talking about a good 200 and something years ago, 236 years ago. A very, very big holy man. He was actually the third generation of Chassidut from the Talmidim of the Magid Mimazrich, right? He wrote a few different Sefarim, one of them which was the Noam Elimelech, which is one of the main Sefarim nowadays on Chassidut. There's others, also Tzvita Katan, there's a few other ones, and a very special tefillah that he wrote before the tefillah of Shachrit, which means that before you're going to come and pray, he wrote a special tefillah. And when we're talking about the greatness of who he was, right, he actually wrote a sefer according to Parashot Shavua, and he explained Al Pi Parashat Shavua, he explained the different chidushim that he had throughout the Shabbatot, but his sefer was only published afterwards. Now, Rabbi Elimelech Milezinsk said, anybody that comes to his kever after he passes away will not pass away without doing teshuvah, which means it's an incredible avtacha. Imagine that. A person's coming, I actually had a video somebody sent me, jam-packed, right, with people on his nachala, because anybody that goes to his kever is certain that he will do teshuvah before he passes away. That was Segula. Now, another thing interesting is that before he passed away, he went and he gave. Where's he buried? In here, in this place, how do you call this place? Poland. I don't remember the city over here. Yes, but I don't know if nowadays it's called Milezinsk. Okay. His closest students were blessed by Elimelech Milezinsk that they all got some of his powers. So, for example, I'm sure you've heard of the Chozeh Milublin. So the Chozeh Milublin was given, right, the koach of me'or enav, of his eyesight. The Magid Mikozhnitz was given the koach of his lev, of his heart. Rabbi Menachem Mendel Miraminov, this is the koach of the neshama in his heart, in his brain. And the Rebbe Me'apta was given kocho shebefiv. There's a lot of others as well. When we're talking about the greatness of who exactly he was, there was also a lot of others as well, students, right, of the Rabbi Elimelech Milezinsk. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring down something very, very important. Why? Because Mordechai mentioned that he said that if we're already talking about, for the Refuah Shelema of Rabbi Moshe Avital, this is the head of Shuva here in Aventura, and therefore he came and he said, and also for Ilan Mordechai ben Alan, so we're talking about Refuah Shelema. So he told me, can you please speak about what the Noam Elimelech would say on Refuah, on having a Refuah Shelema? So listen to this. Hadmor Mevizhnitz, the Baal Yeshuot Moshe, he came and he told his Chassidim that they went to the Tziyun, they went to the burial of Rabbi Elimelech Milezinsk, to his burial plot. And he said, I'm going to teach you a limuda Torah, which comes from a Segula, which is Mesugal for the Refuah, which is brought down in the Noam Elimelech on Parashat Beshalach, which means if you look in Parashat Beshalach, he comes and he says, this portion of the Noam Elimelech is the Segula for the Refuah Shelema. Now, what is it already that he's going to say? And he brings down the Noam Elimelech as follows. כל המחלה ששמתי במצרים לא אשים עליך, כי אני השם רופאך. All the machalot that I placed in Mitzrayim, I'm not going to place on you, because I am Hashem, your healer. And Rashi there asks, 1 second, if Hashem will not place any type of a machala onto you, so then why do you need to be cured? Doesn't make sense. If you're not going to have, so why are you going to need a refuah? And he explains as follows. V'nireh lefaresh, and he explains, it's written, Ani Hashem asher hotzeticha meretz Mitzrayim. I am Hashem that I took you out of Egypt. And everybody asks, why doesn't it say, Anochi Hashem asher barati shamayim va'aretz? Why doesn't it say that? We asked this question last night. What do we answer? Yes. Last night we asked this question. What do we answer? Why does it say, what was so important about always saying, Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher hotzeticha meretz Mitzrayim, and not Ani Hashem Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher barati shamayim va'aretz? What do we say? What do we answer? Chazak Baruch. The Chovot Levot, he comes and he explains, we know that everybody knows that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Shamayim Va'aretz. That's obvious. The Chidush is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Shotzeticha Meretz Mitzrayim. Why? Because when he took us out of Egypt, you see the Ashkacha Pratit. You see how HaKadosh Baruch Hu has his divine providence on every single human being. And therefore it was much more important. The Goyim, they understand that. That's why, by the way, the Malbim explains, we say, Mizmor, Shirula, Hashem, Shir Chadash. What's going on? What's Mizmor, Shirula, Hashem, Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash, Shir Yashan? What's going on? He comes and he says, because the Goyim, they also admit that God created the world. But for us, it's a Shir. For us, it's every single day we come and we say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates the world from new. And therefore it's important. But listen to what the Noam Elimelech says. The Noam Elimelech says, why does it say Anochi Ani Hashem Elokecha asher hotzeticha Mitzrayim and not Anochi Hashem asher barati shamayim va'aretz? So he says there's a chidush yoter, there's a bigger chidush. Listen to this chidush. Nireh be'emet ze chidush yoter shehotzeianu miMitzrayim. Why? Because Briat HaOlam, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, Haya mechamat she'Hashem yitbarach Baruch Hu ratza le'ativ lebruim. He wanted to come and he wanted to do good to his creation. He wanted to do good to the creatures. But the Bria in itself is not a chidush neged Hashem yitbarach. It's not neged the will of Hashem. Itivo le'ativ. Hashem always wants to do good. So if you're going to tell Hashem, create the world, that's doing good. The opposite. Right? Olam chesed yibaneh. He's going to build the world on chesed. He wants to do good to others. So that's perfect. But he comes and he says, "But Yetziat Mitzrayim was the exact opposite." What was Yetziat Mitzrayim? Yetziat Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to hit the Mitzrim with makot muflaot. That's neged the teva of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because mipi elyon lo tetzeh hara'ah. From Hashem will never come something bad. So how could it be that he's going to come and he's going to afflict the Egyptians and he's going to give them negative things? But the fact that it was good for the Jews that he came and he hit the Mitzrim, and the Ikar Tova was for the Jews. Hashem Yitbarach did against his nature. He went and he did something which really his nature is, I have to always be good. But here I'm going to go against my nature. And I'm going to what? I'm going to do bad. To the Mitzrim. But why? Because it's good for the Jews. So he says, that's a bigger chidush. This is the explanation. Why? How did he come and he put the machalot on them? Which means all the machalot that Samti b'Mitzrayim was only for one reason. The fact that I'm going to do good for the Jews later, that's why I put machalot on Mitzrayim. Because I don't put machalot on anybody. It's against the nature. It's something bad. So he says, but now he comes and he says the punchline. But now what's the explanation now if you're going to put a machala on the Jews? You can't do that. Why? Because what positive thing will come out from there? And therefore the Noam Elimelech comes and he says, and that's what the Admor Mivizhnitz came and he said, from here we have the biggest Segula for Refuah Shelema. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu by nature is so good, the only reason why he put machalot on Mitzrayim was to help the Jews. But to put a machala on the Jews, or on any Jew, why in the world would it come, and why in the world would actually help anybody? Obviously, it's not going to help, and therefore, says the Noam, that says that the Rabbi needs. This is the biggest Segula from the Sefer of Noam and Elimelech to have Refuah Shelema, and therefore we're going to Bezrat Hashem to bless that Rabbi Moshe ben Miriam Lydia and Ilam Mordechai ben Alina Lana, that they should have Refuah Shelema, Refuah Nefesh Rutu Guf, Vechol Chol Yam Chol Yisrael. Also, that everyone should have Refuah Shelema, Refuah Nefesh Rutu Guf, the Torah of Israel, and Atzlacha for Eli Binyamin ben Devorah.